Welcome to the maiden edition of the Informed Investor series. So on this episode, I'll be sharing what I term as the crust of every real estate investment. So whether you're a business professional or an entrepreneur who's planning on diversifying his investment portfolio, then you're welcome to listen to this episode, as the principles I'll be sharing here would help you in kickstarting your real estate investment career on a great pedestal. So let's dive right in. So I have broken down today's episode into two important parts that concerns you. So before stepping out to make any real estate investment, you want to do this one important thing called your financial evaluation. Yes, the goal here is to understand your net worth. You want to know what you're worth before going to buy a property. Personally, I don't advise people to buy a property with everything that they have and then, end up becoming liabilities to other people. No. So you want to understand what the value of everything you have. You want to understand where you stand financially. You want to know what's your financial capability. You understand? So I advise people, make a list of all the assets you have and make a list of all the liabilities you have. And the goal here is to keep your liabilities at the bare minimum and then your asset going up there. You understand? So you want to know exactly what you're worth. Let me drop an analogy for you. I think sometime in 2016, I had a prospect who reached out to me. I had just run an ad then. So he reached out to me and he was like, oh yeah, I like this property. I saw it on your page and I would like to buy it. And I was like, why not? So I gave him all the details of the property. It was a beautiful property, an amazing location, and the price too was so attractive. He said, yes, I would love to buy this property. Then I said, okay, fine. I gave him all the details, and then when he heard the price of that particular property, he said, oh, I can buy this property on an outright payment, but I could do installment payment plan. So I said, fine. I gave him all the installment payment plan that were available at that point, and he chose the one for a year. I think that was the maximum. That was the highest you could go for payment duration. So he chose the highest one, which was for a year, and we closed the deal. He read the terms and conditions, read the agreement and everything, signed the papers, and paid the initial sum. So the next month, he made a part payment for that particular property. The next month after that, he also made another payment. But something then happened. We didn't hear from him again till the 12th month. So it's now a year after and he hasn't completed the payment for that particular property. And then there's something that most vendors do, most developers do. There's usually a clause in the agreement that most times would say, okay, if after a year you can't pay, there are penalties that would come with it. Or some people would say, oh, if you want to get your money back or you decide you can't buy again, we will deduct a 40% charge on the total amount you've paid and give you 60% of your sum back. Because of course they've paid commissions to the realtor or the person who brokered the deal, and there's some other administrative charges that must have been deducted. So he came back after a year and said he doesn't want to buy again. And then they said, okay, we will deduct 40%, which is stated in the agreement you signed before paying your initial sum. Then we'll deduct 40% and refund 60% to you, and which was what he did. So in that case, he made a bad investment, and at the end of the day, he lost 40% of that initial sum of the total amount he has paid, and then ended up parting away with the remaining 60%. He made a loss. So I advise people, before you go into buying the property, you want to pause and look at your financial statement. You want to pause, even if you want to go on an installment payment plan. You should be able to project, this is how much I'll make in a month. This is how much I can put out for real estate investment. This is how much I'll pay towards a down payment. This is how much I can afford monthly. You understand? You don't want to put yourself in a position where you would be trapped. Like, let me borrow a word from or a sentence from Pidgin English. No good, do pass yourself. So that's just it. You want to understand your financial statement. You want to know, this is what I can do monthly. You want to know, this is what I'm worth. Even if you want to buy outrightly, you don't want to buy a property and become a liability to other people. Nobody wants that. So sit down, draw up a statement of all that you have, draw up a statement of all that you can afford, and then it will help you decide on which property you can afford. It will help you decide on which property to invest in. So next is another important aspect that you should consider before setting out to buy property in this country, Nigeria. So I've heard people who say, yes, the real estate sector in Nigeria is booming, people are buying property, and then they see that as the only reason why they should buy a property. That shouldn't be your reason to buy a property. I advise my prospect and clients, before you set out to buy a property, you should have a goal towards that investment before making them. Just like any other investment, have a goal at the back of your mind that this is why I'm investing in this property. There are some people who buy properties just to become citizen of another country. Yes, so many developed countries today are offering investment options that automatically grants investors citizenship of that particular country. There are people who buy properties just because they want to fund a future dream. There are people who buy properties, maybe they say in 5-10 years, I want to be able to, sell this property and then fund my child's education. And then there are people who buy property to say, oh, okay, in 4 or 5 years time, I want to use this property as an equity for a bigger investment, in the future. So the first thing you should do when deciding to buy a property is have a goal for that investment. You understand? And having a goal for your investment will help you fine-tune your decisions to what type of property you should be investing in. You understand? So let me give you another analogy for that. I think late last year, I ran an ad in December. I was trying to market some properties during the Christmas period. And then it was for a particular property then. It was a land I was trying to market then. So I got a call from a man who said he saw my ad and was interested in the property. So when he came in, I told him, yeah, it's a land, 600 square meter. He said land, that he thought it was a JV opportunity, that's a joint venture opportunity. I said, no, it's just an outright sale of a land. So he said he has a couple of lands in Lagos, but right now he's looking for real estate investment that will pay him annually. So you can see, he has a goal. He wants annual payment. He wants, let's say, a residual income that will be coming in annually. So for that kind of person, setting up a goal or having a goal at the back of his mind will help fine-tune the kind of investment that he will make. Of course, buying a land outrightly at that point isn't going to solve the problem of annual returns. You understand? So I was able to advise him to invest on properties that would give him rental value at the end of the month. You understand? So the first thing you should do is have at the back of your mind a goal for that investment, because having a goal for that investment will help you decide on which properties to buy. You understand? Whether you would go for a long-term investment or an investment that will pay you on the short term. Amazing, in Nigeria, we have so many investment opportunities that pay on the short term these days. You understand? So have a goal at the back of your mind, decide on what you want to use that property for, and then it will help you decide on which angle or which particular property you would go for. So that's that for this episode. So watch out for our next episode where we'll go into more technical details about real estate investing in Nigeria. And if you have questions, you could leave them in the comment section and I promise to get back to you. And also remember to subscribe down here and get timely updates once new episodes are out. See you soon. Bye.